Howdy folks, I'm Grotto Goblin of the Goblin's Grotto, and welcome to another Bones 6 news video. Today we have some final-ish sculpts for the Lost Tombs of Hakir, a brand new add-on, and a few more tidbits to chew on while we debate what the future of the TTR space is going to be. Yeah. Anyway, without further to-dos, let's get on with the news. First things first, we start off with the long-awaited completion of the Lost Tombs of Hakir. And to start things off, the final mini of that mostly humanoid adventuring party, the so-called Sand Dwarf. The name might be a little dubious. It is what it is. I really like the aesthetic of the figure, the shield, the hair, and whatever that is that they're beating things with. It's all really great. I will say, I think I prefer the longer shaft of that weapon, as we saw in the concept art. Also, I think I can just barely see that the cat emblem at the end of the beard was not preserved for this sculpt. Now granted, this is not final, so maybe those things could make a return, but I kind of doubt it, and it is what it is. Including their giant beetle mount, which apparently still has the most work left to do, but the rest are basically sculpt complete. Now while you're looking at this lineup, you may notice that there is one extra beetle man there. Well, unfortunately, that's not being included in this Kickstarter. It was just kind of thrown in by the sculptor as, I guess, a proof of concept, as a test piece, but it's not actually going to be in the campaign. That being the case, I don't really know why it's in this image. I mean, image editing can be difficult, I understand. I'm barely good at it myself. Thankfully, though, I found a very specific, detailed tutorial for just such an occasion as this. Anyways, cool models. I wish they would upload higher quality images, but it is what it is, and no, the streams that they put out, not much better. They're using the same photos. It is what it is. So of the sculpts here, the big pack beetle, whatever we're going to be calling it, is the one that still needs the most work, although that work is mainly on the satchels, the lanterns that are on its horns, and a few of the other accoutrements that are adorning its body. The driver, the actual creature itself, seem to be sculpt complete. No word on whether the pack can be removed and, have an intact beetle underneath, but I'm hoping so because maybe I just want the beetle and not the packs. Well, I, for one, am a little miffed by that last one not getting included. They should have not shown it to us, to be honest, but whatever. At a later date, perhaps we'll get that in whenever this stuff goes to retail, but oh well. I'm looking forward to getting my hands on these so I can paint them all sorts of shiny metallic colors as you see in scarabs and other beetles. As exciting as those sculpts were, we've seen the beetles, we've known of them, but this is something mostly out of the blue, a brand new add-on, Horrors of the Slaughter Waller. This is a set that features the struggle of captive dwarves against 3 cursed figures, humanoids turned into the pigmen butchers, Hoink, Gristle, and Shank, complete with a tanning rack and a big pot of offal. The set was teased a long time ago. In fact, mentions of it go way back to the earlier days of the campaign, but the word was always skeptical on whether it would make it in. At this point, that skepticism has been shelved. This add-on is in the Pledge Manager and can be all yours for a mere $18. Of course, the pigmen butchers are the main selling points, but those tied-up dwarves can be great for adding some variety in any scenario where you have captive prisoners that need to be freed or what have you. And hey, when each of these minis is coming in at about $2.25 each, I'd say this is a pretty fine bargain. Also, while I am not a butcher, I vaguely recognize the weapons here being all various different forms of pummeling and cutting meat, and I don't know, that's just a really nice touch. But that's gonna about do it for today. Before you go, there are a few more important updates. For one, in the updates, Reaper has begun mentioning fulfillment taking place next year. So, a window is being finalized for the run of this Pledge Manager and thus the campaign as a whole. Second, a reminder, the shipping will be paid at a later date. Reaper is supposed to be reaching out to you, but I would recommend keeping an eye on the PM, and of course, I will be sounding alarms once I know it's ready as well. On that note, if you want to stay informed, liking, subscribing, and commenting below will keep my channel in your recommendeds, in your subscription feed, and of course, it helps me out and supports what I'm doing here. Speaking of, I just recently passed 100 subscribers on this channel, and I cannot articulate enough how impactful that has been and how wonderful this experience has been. Thanks to all of y'all and all y'all support. Whether you're a part of that number or not, any support you've shown for this channel has really meant a lot to me. Really appreciate it. And, I'm looking forward to bringing you some new content in the year, more Kickstarter reviews, more Following Bone 6, of course, but other campaigns, plus, things that aren't only related to Kickstarters, miniature painting, other things in the space. Just keep an eye on this channel. There'll be some more stuff coming along as I'm able to find time to do so. But for today, that's all I had to say, and I've been Grotto Goblin, you've been you, and thank you so much for watching. As always, take care, stay safe, and if you got 'em, let's go paint some minis.